Today we're going to attempt to repair the display on this Vtech 5.8 gigahertz cordless telephone. The display is missing a lot of pixels. Those are supposed to be 8s, and you can see just how many of the pixels are not working. The menus are pretty much unreadable. So we're going to try to repair the display today. I've tried to do this repair in the past and I've had limited success with it. I recently went back and watched the letter H's video, which is a phenomenal tutorial, and I will link to that video in the description box that nobody reads. And if you want to know really detailed how to do this, take a look at his video. What I'm going to be doing here today is I have a T-tool connected to my soldering iron. Has a heat-proof rubber strip on the top, which I just replaced and it keeps peeling off. But what we're going to do is we're going to use this tool to reflow the ribbon cable that attaches to the display on this telephone. Now, I got a new soldering iron since the last couple of times I tried this, which was years ago. The old soldering iron was only 25 watts. This new one is 40 watts. So I'm hoping that maybe the reason why I was not having good success with this before was that the soldering iron was not getting hot enough. So we're going to begin by disassembling the telephone so that we can get to where the problem is. We're going to remove the battery but keep it nearby because we're going to plug it back in once we get everything taken apart. I don't have any tweezers down here. That stinks. I gotta add that to my tool wall. Alright, so here is the screen, and this is the ribbon cable that we talked about. We have to access this cable, and so it looks like we're going to have to remove, I don't see any more screws unless there's one behind the speaker here, which is possible. Nope, I don't see one there. It might just be these little tabs here on the side. Okay, so it looks like we're going to have to detach the screen from this holding piece here, which is going to be much easier said than done. And then we'll be able to access the part where the problem is. What a pain in the neck this is going to be to get that off of there. I hope it's not glued in at all. And it should go without saying that this is an extremely delicate procedure at this point, trying to get this out of here. And one mistake will render this screen irreparable. Is it glued on the bottom? I think so, that it might be glued at the bottom, which means we're going to have to run like a razor down through there or something to separate it. Which I have no desire to do, but we might have to. Yeah, I can't apply the amount of force necessary to break that seal, because it'll just break the screen. Huh, I'm not really having a lot of success doing it that way either. Wow, this is going to be very tricky. I really can't quite tell what it is that's holding it on. It's able to move up and down freely with no resistance at all. feel like the screen is just broken at this point. Let's see if there's any life left in this display. It's not broken yet. Alright, let's keep going. I'm really not sure what this is stuck on. It's been some time since I've dismantled one of these phones, and I really don't recall it being this difficult. Wish I could just see why it's not coming out. I'm starting to get it. Alright, I'm getting it now. There's just a strip of, I guess, flexible adhesive down here in the bottom, which I seem to be able to gently, very, very gently push through with the screwdriver to get it off. Alright, now we're going to slip the display through this piece to get it off. And now here is where the trouble is. It's generally within this connection right here, where this ribbon cable connects to the motherboard here. A very, I guess, very cheap adhesive was used, and this is just a cheesy carbon cable, and so between those two it just produced a product that doesn't hold. So what we can do is we can use heat to reflow the adhesive on there and make it work again. See, as I touch different areas, it kind of comes back, comes and goes. So unfortunately we can't quite watch the repair live because of the way this is designed. I have to have this flap down, but I'm just going to take the T-tool and push down on this area here. This has been on for quite some time now. Hopefully this is warmed up. And we're going to apply a considerable amount of force. Let that solidify for a second. Close that. It's going to invite accidents. Alright, let's see if we got anything improved here. We do. We have some improvement. Now the top of the display is working. Mostly. So let's keep moving over. We'll go to the other side now. Now it is conceivable that the connection up here at the top can also go bad, but I've never seen that. That actually worked very well. A good portion of the display has come back. It looks like the date and time portions are not all there, but since these don't display the date and time on standby anyways, I honestly would be content with it the way it is. Let's grab the numbers, the buttons here, and we'll fill it up with 8s, and let's see how much we have. That's 2. It's not in the right spot. Yeah, we have a pretty good working screen right now. That's pretty much 100% as far as the numerics are concerned. I'm going to review some of the caller ID entries, and I'm going to do that without you because I don't think that the people that call me would appreciate showing the numbers. Yeah, let's see. The date and time is pretty much not there at all. Very, very faint. Let's give it a shot, see if we can get it. It seems like it's very close. This is kind of one of those things, at least from my experience in the past, where you get to a point where it's working and then you go too far and then it stops working again. So we do want to be pretty careful with this. Let's see, if I push down on certain parts of this, does it seem to come back? Not really. So I'm not sure what part. Actually, it does. It seems like it's right over there. So let's see if we can just get a little bit more under here. I'm going to stick this like that so I can get the pressure on that side of the board. Yeah, this seems like it really worked pretty good. I don't think so that we got the numbers back, the date information yet. Let's see. Got some of it back, it looks like. Let me get this lined up right. Yeah, it's still very dodgy. It's kind of there. Let's go over it one more time. I'll do the whole thing one more time, and then we're going to call it there, because at least now it's working enough to view the caller ID, to view all the menus, etc. And that's what's important to me more so than the date and time on the caller ID. Although it would be nice to get the whole thing back if we could. Nope, see, we passed up. I overdid it. I should have stopped while I was still ahead. I think something must have melted a little bit too much and it got damaged. Yeah, see, I knew I should have stopped. It wasn't worth trying to get that back. I think we're probably out of luck now. That bites. I had it so good too. Alright, I got it back, and I actually think I got the numbers too. Ain't that something? So maybe it was on the other side that was screwed up. Let me see if I got the numbers too. If I didn't, I don't care. I'm just curious if we got them. Nah, we didn't. Actually, we did. Huh. I got it. It's 100% right now. Nice. Alright, now let's see if we can get this back together without it breaking. Man, this is really stressing me out. I've come to not dislike, but much prefer working with bigger stuff, wrenches, screwdrivers, power tools, and I've kind of drawn away from some of this electronic stuff because the really small, delicate components, it starts to stress me out after a while. And that's where we're getting to with this one. But this makes me so happy if we can successfully get this back together and working, because I really, really like these phones. I feel like we're going to lose the stuff on the bottom as I put this back on, but that's okay as long as the two alphanumeric lines stay copacetic. I'm totally content with this. I can't quite remember how this went. Where does this sit on the... It sits like that, doesn't it? Yeah, we're losing the numbers on the bottom, but that's fine. Not worried about them. Something's wrong here. This is not able to rest in place. Where is it? It seems tighter than it should be to me. Yeah, something's wrong here, I think. I don't know what it is, but something's a little off. Maybe that's why there's that adhesive at the bottom. I think that's in place enough. Let's see. At least the new indicator works, so I know if I've got a new call. Something is definitely off here with the way this is sitting in there. I just can't quite tell what it is. Is this it? This looks like it might be up just a hair too high. I think that is the problem. And it's not going to just nicely move down, is it? This side is not clipped in. That is the problem. So now we need to figure out why. I think it just clipped into place. It might have fixed it. We're starting to walk on thin ice with this speaker connection. I should have just disconnected that. Alright, now these wires on the top here for the speaker are getting stuck in the way of where that little plastic tab is supposed to go through. Alright, it's back in. And we have a mostly working display. The alphanumerics are 100% right now. Let's get this closed before anything breaks. Turn off the T-tool, don't need that on anymore. So I think that the issue I was having when I've tried to do this in the past was that the soldering iron does not get hot enough. That seemed to work pretty easily this time. And the only thing that's different was the iron. This is what I've come to despise, is working with these tiny little screws. My hands are just too big for this. Now, what's yet to be seen is how long will this hold? Is this going to last a week? Is it going to last 4 hours? That I don't know, and will only be able to answer that as time passes. It will eventually fail again, most likely, because I assume that the problem is within the adhesive. And so if we just reflow the adhesive, it's working like it was out of the factory, but it's got the same problem that it came with. So it'll probably break again. I don't know how many times we'll be able to fix it. I also don't know how much longer these phones are going to last in general. These phones are getting to be 20 years old now. These are a product of the mid-2000s. So they're getting very old, and eventually we're going to start seeing capacitors fail and other types of issues that are a little bit more challenging to rectify. So That's a time that I dread, but unfortunately it's inevitably going to come. I put this in here because these covers are getting kind of loose and they vibrate, so having that there kind of adds a little bit of extra strength to it. So let me see. Yeah, the numbers, we don't have the numbers. Well, actually that's not entirely true. We have the numbers, but they're extremely faint. I can make them out. I happen to have some bogus testing calls on this telephone still, so you can see that the numbers are there, but they're not 100%. And when I say numbers, I mean this bottom row, which is date and time. What I'm most concerned about is the top two rows, the alphanumerics, because now I can use the telephone normally and see everything on here like that. So this is great. I'm very happy with this. The repair, it was not 100% successful. I probably could have got it there if I kept trying, but like I said, you can also go too far and then regress. And since I'm content with it the way it is like this, I'm going to keep it this way. And now we just wait and see how long it holds. I hope it holds a couple years. I don't know. I have no idea how the manufacturing process was done compared to what we just did today. I'd be willing to bet it's something very similar, but defective is defective, and eventually it's probably going to break, but it's good for now, and I'm ecstatic about that.